He just wants to see his dad. Hey, let him see his dad.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pissed Off Parent Show. Got an interesting topic tonight. This is who is against equal shared parenting. Wanted to provide some information that we got wind of, and just provide that out there for you, and have you all kind of figure out what you want to do with that information. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and jump into it. Everyone should be aware that there are actually two equal shared parenting bills that are have been filed. One by David Cook, HB 3379, and the other one is SB 1702, which was filed by Mays Middleton. We expected opposition. It happens every time bills are filed, and we just have to kind of roll with the punches. Want to get into some information that got put out there as the start of this the opposition part of it, and kind of dig into that information. So, but real quickly, I wanted to just pop up here. This is what we're talking about here. HB 3379, again filed by Cook, and it's the equal shared parenting bill. And it talks about they live within 20 miles of each other. That equal shared parenting will be the presumptive piece of it. Goes into some other information. Some information was pushed out today from another group called Dad Equal Custody. If you're not familiar with them, let me pop up their information here. There you go. Probably need to move it over, but and then if you want to check them out, feel free to do so. They got a QR code that should also appear in the comments section, as well as you can go over to their Facebook page. My understanding of the services they provide is that and I believe they're centered, in Texas only. But if you're having issues with custody or child support, the whole family court game, you can contact them, and they can help you represent yourself and do a number of other things. So check them out, see what they have to offer. But what I have up on the screen right now is an email that had been sent, and I've blocked out just some of the names. Again, even though it's public information, just wanting to kind of keep it all, you know, out of not providing too much, because I just don't want anyone to go do something silly with that as far as who wrote that. But they have actually issued a email out copying the president's, stating quite clearly, please do not support HB 3379 by Representative David Cook. And for those that don't know who the Family Law Foundation is, I'm hoping that everyone knows, and I'll get a bigger blown up picture of this email, because we're actually going to go through it and address the concerns line by line. But also, I'm providing this out there, so I want people to see that there are people that are actually opposed to equal shared parenting, who they are, and what needs to be done in order to stop this. All right, let me go ahead and pull up the information from, let's see here, there we go. All right, so the Texas Family Law Foundation, I kind of just got right to the meat of it, but they're a foundation comprised of family court attorneys that work to ensure certain pieces of legislation pass, and work to verify, or work to make sure that other pieces of legislation don't pass. And you can, of course, go to their website. It's texasfamilylawfoundation.com. Looks like they've actually done some updates to it since last I was there. But I wanted to read here what's on their message from the president area. So just give some other information up top, but the meat of it here that I want to get to is what is at stake. The foundation has worked tirelessly to defeat proposals to end no-fault divorce, extend the waiting period for divorce, impose a presumption in favor of unworkable 50-50 custody agreements, a ban on foreign law, SAPR agreements, and so much more. I kind of find funny with that, with just that one sentence, is the whole purpose of this foundation. They put their most important thing first, which is stopping 50-50, stopping anything that would stop no fault divorce, waiting periods, and anything that seems to be good for the family. Now, you're probably maybe thinking, well, I mean, they're lawyers. They probably see stuff. Maybe they, have a different, position on the whole thing. Um, See here. This is comment that was made, in there. As president, I urge you to join the foundation, the only group in Texas that represents family lawyers at the Capitol. That's who they're representing. They're again trying to represent their own best interest, which is other family court attorneys, which I think everyone should know by now. They are, only they're trying to stop anything that's like 50-50 because that reduces conflict, and so they can, of course, ensure that they make more money. And again, if you have any comments or anything, please feel free to drop them in the chat section. And if they're worthy, we'll throw them up on the board and talk to them, because we're going to be going through the email that was sent. And I'm going to go ahead and try to, at the same time, pull up the bill and, kind of work through that so everyone's on the same page, and actually, stay past that part, because I want to address, I guess, an elephant in the room on that. Just some things to think about, a couple other things. Actually, I also wanted to report on some big news out of Ohio, and some things are actually happening also in Texas with the holding judges accountable. So there was a lot of stuff here, a lot of things to talk about and report on. Okay, so let's jump right into the letter here. Let's see if I can blow that up a little bit. I'm sure everyone's got old man eyes like me. So here is the email, and it's basically, and it's just funny how this works. What they're kind of stating, the people that are going to be impacted negatively. One is, right out of the gate, women and children would lose both Texas priorities this session. Okay. I find that weird, but okay. So next thing, and again, I guess in the email, I guess they need to talk to their HTML guys on how that part works. But anyway, regardless. All right, HB 3379 replaces the flexibility of current law with equal parenting time and strict inflexible schedules for parents who live 20 miles or less apart. Okay, replaces the flexibility of current law with equal parenting time. So, and this will come in handy a little bit later, but they're, talking about current law and then equal parenting time. So we joke about, because they have testified. They actually have I believe it's a 4-part series that talks about the standard possession order being more than 50% of the time for the non-custodial parent. They actually, if you go to the Pissed Off Parent page, there's a link to that series. You can hear it right out of their mouths. Um, and they actually, at this point, I have to say they actually believe that nonsense. But all right, so strict, inflexible schedules. I went ahead and pulled up. Let's go right back to the bill here. Pulled the bill up and started looking for these inflexible schedules. And now David Cook, he is a lawyer, so I'm sure he wrote this, I guess, with some certain things in mind. But when you get down to the section here about, let's see here, okay. I'd say it probably will start at 153.352, the designation of conservators under equal parenting order. So it references the school, and it seems like that's going to be the 20-mile marker, as both people will be conservative A and conservative B. So they would probably take the actual school or the school district as that determining factor when doing that 20-mile piece. But they start working through, and I've read it a few times, and again, it is written by an attorney, so you have to kind of like piece it apart. But what I really picked out of it, though, is that it did provide for equal shared parenting. So based on the year, it would talk about, one parent would have the child on the weekends, first, third, fifth. The other parent would have second and fourth. And at the next year, it flips. Makes perfect sense. You've got the Wednesday and Thursday of each week being at the time school regularly resumes on Wednesday, and then at the time school regularly resumes on Friday. It then talks about how the weekends will flip flop back and forth, but it's basically a lot of it seems like it's kind of a 2-2-3 rat plan. So that's where the child spends equal time with the parent, or with the parents every 2 days, it seems like. and I believe I saw an alternative. Okay, there we go. There was the alternative schedule, and it looked like it was actually a kind of a week to week program. So there's actually two there, and also just to point out there, that's when the parents can agree. There's no other issue. Um, and the judge has the capability to, do something else that, the parents agree on or don't agree on that's still in the equal 50-50 realm. So we have that. So, and it talks about, and there's, the inflexibility. It talks about, Christmas, it talks about holidays, let's see, Mother's Day and Father's Day. I mean, a lot of these things outside of those dates haven't changed. So, I did really question what they meant by inflexible. It's better than, of course, everybody gets to see. I'm a Voltron fan. Uh, I just don't see the inflexible schedule part that they're referencing. That, but that is what it is. All right. Now, curious, and they talk about this later about the us talking about this, but it seems like they're the first to bring it up here. The bill would reduce child support to millions of, and in all caps, mothers with children depending on it. And then, of course, in red, as rampant inflation eats away at scarce child rearing resources by requiring an income shares child support calculation because parents live close by. Oh, okay. Um, we're all equal here. I mean, we're all equal under the law. This equal bill would basically require both parents to support the child while they're in their custody. It's pretty straightforward, but this goes right out of the gate there with it's going to reduce child support to millions of mothers with children depending upon it. Again, I have a hard time understanding why they would put that in there. I mean, there is, and we'll get into this part a little bit more because it gets even more interesting. The very end of the bill does talk about basically an income sharing model for child support under these 50-50 scenarios, which makes perfect sense. But we're also trying to, again, David Cook, when he created the bill, he's a lawyer, and he did put a provision in there about child support that they would do an income share model, and the difference between the two, they would, the other parent that would level it out, but it just wouldn't be the huge windfall they get nowadays. So, all right, let's go ahead and continue on here. See, Joe had made a comment. Sounds like moms should get a job. Yeah, that's pretty pretty apparent with that one, and it's just interesting. This is kind of the tack they're taking. So the next thing they talk about, income shares, means calculating what each parent would pay in support using their incomes and current guidelines and subtracting the smaller number from the larger one. One parent would pay the difference to the other. And then bold, with no other consideration other than proximity. Why does this matter? And I'm actually confused on that one. Why with no other consideration? Parents got divorced or they're no longer together. They live in two separate households. It's not about the money; it's about the children spending time equally with both children. One parent shouldn't be subsidized for the other. Again, as the child, that's important. So it's this part here. I guess they were just looking for some filler or to learn how to do HTML. I'm not sure, but that they have an income share model. And again, if anyone's seeing something that I'm not, please comment in the chat so we can kind of get that out there and address it. Because again, as as we kind of do our calls to action, we're going to be asking to get supporters for the bill. Sounding off, on that and getting people rallying behind this because again, we're seeing the playbook right now. It doesn't get any more, apparent than this. No pun intended on the parent piece. All right, next one up here. The math results in reduced support. So we've got three references to child support, the money piece of it, which I mean, everybody knows the whole Title 4D, the cottage industry, how much money the lawyers will lose as a result of this, the Title 4D funding that the state will lose should this go through. Those different sections are in there, but they're the ones that are mentioning money over and over. So the math results in reduced support. The median income for men in Texas is $48,385, while the median income for women is $29,497,000. That's from the Texas Child Support Guidelines Review Report 2021. And I would say to that right out of the gate, so get a better job, work two jobs. I this that should not matter. If a woman, you're strong, independent, equal, magnificent, queens, whatever, we want to get a job, get two. That's I assume that's what men are doing in order you find a way to make ends meet. So that statement to me right there tells me that this is about the money. This is all it is about the money, and subsidizing women. All right. Currently, the vast majority of cases consider only the non-custodial parent's income, which is a interesting one. But that's one we have in Texas. You don't have to be a math major to see why the vast majority of custodial parents who are predominantly mothers, oh, interesting, would lose support under this bill. In the OAG's child support program, the 1.5 million recipients of child support are 95% women. And it's weird how they can say, I mean, they know the same data. I mean, I get on here pretty much every day, a couple times a day. All the data's out there talking about the 95% and who gets child support. And I mean, it's like they know it, they acknowledge it, they state it, but then they get all, dumb with, oh, we already have equal this and we already have that. And we already have, I mean, this is like, again, talking out of both sides of their bungholes here. But yeah, they stating 95% of the child support recipients are women. That's wrong. We're supposed to be equal, right? Okay, also in 2022 alone, over 83% of the almost 56,000 children for whom child support obligations were newly established were born out of wedlock. And that's a whole other big problem. Many parents never had a prior relationship just enough to have a child together. Yeah, I mean, those numbers seem pretty rock solid. Um, and that's to the guys and people that would be watching this show, dude, wear a condom, zip it up, don't do it, MGTOW, don't get involved. I mean, these numbers are scary, and they're unfortunately getting worse. You had a report came out recently that as far as millennials, 63% of all children born to millennials are single parent homes. We're 25th, 24, 25%, the highest in the entire world in single parent families. And we've got to figure out a way to make this stop. And that, if the women aren't going to do it because they're going to pump out kids, men, we have got to get vasectomies, say no, do something more. I mean, the fact that, we have 83% of guys out there raw dogging it, to put it bluntly and crudely, it should be an embarrassment for the guys. We need to be in control of ourselves and not contribute to this. We need to say no. Just say no. Okay. So that's, again, some scary statistics. It's just funny, the suggestion should be based on this information here is that we should just go ahead and give the custody to the man. The man's obviously more financially able to take care of the child. Um, Most of the children are being born out of wedlock. It takes two to make that child. I mean, I would assume now that the Family Law Foundation, based on the information that they've already provided, should say that men should be getting 95%, and then just have the women pay a marginal amount of child support out of the meager income that they make. Actually, if men had custody uh, of the child most time, the woman could actually go out and make more money. Hey, there's an idea that makes perfect sense. Next year, I have more information on that later. Just remind me of some other stuff coming out. Okay, ask yourselves, how many mothers who receive child support are in your district? Now we're getting to that fun question. Money, and votes. Remember how I tell everybody about voting? Voting these people in or out based on where they're at with equal shared parenting. Here we go. What if he doesn't exercise his possession time? Mother is stuck with less child support on top of less help raising a baby. Oh, boo-hoo. This already happens all the time under current law. I would argue no, based on the numbers that I've seen with custodial interference, the lack of anything happening with that, and the fathers that I deal with, they are all wanting to be in their child's life. The data supports it, actually nationally, not just just in Texas. I've got Jason here, and I'm glad you mentioned his name. Dr. Brooks McKenzie said kids raised by single fathers did almost as well as those in intact families, but those in single mother households did so poorly. That is that research that's out there on that topic. It's that yeah, I mean it's spot on. Actually, the worst place for a child to grow up is in a single mother household, and that's the data. You can hate whoever you want to on that one for anyone else listening, but that's the data. Do with it what you will. And actually, I'm glad you mentioned Dr. Brooks McKenzie because I have some information that I'm hoping he's listening to of a person, actually a few people he should reach out to that I think will help him quite a bit in his professional endeavors. But we'll get to that. All right, HB 3379 reduces liberty. Let me unhide that or hide that. A non reduces liberty. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I scanned over this, and this is live. So if they had something cool up here, I'd go, ooh, well, good point. So I just figured I'd pull this up, the bill up, and then right now just kind of walk through it, and we'd all kind of figure it out together. But okay, it reduces liberty. Holy snot buckets. A non custodial parent's freedom to choose the days and hours that work for them and their children is eliminated simply because parents live close together. Unlike the flexibility, okay, provided in the current expanded standard possession order, which, oh my God, oh, which is now the default for parents who live under 50 miles. Oh my God. See, I mean, guys and girls, this is the nonsense they peddle. I'm hoping you guys are like seeing this crap. A not okay, guys. You don't get to see your children. That's a freedom. A freedom. Wait, freedom. Holy biscuits. All right. That's crazy. Um, I don't even know. I mean, that's one of those dumb movements. I could actually do my what you said is so stupid. I award you no points, but I won't put everybody through that one. Hopefully, everybody knows the movie reference. I don't know. I'm just like kind of dumbstruck by the stupidity of that one. I don't know if anyone has any. Oh, good. I'm glad. Thank you, Joe, for liking the soundboard. Having a little bit of fun with that. See, also commented here. See, the reduces liberty is a joke. It's one of those when you read something so patently stupid, you're like you get Forrest Whitaker eye. You just go, what? That's insane. But this is what they're using to argue against us. See, when you share the child's time, both parents are able to make a living and share the parenting time of the child. Exactly. You know what? Y'all want to cure this median income thing here? Equal shared parenting. Both parents got to go out there and earn some money. Easy fix. Let's see, Jason. Let's see here. So to let the mother be more free, many of them have others watch the kids during their custodial time instead of the father. Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, this equal shared parenting would be would be a benefit for them. But again, of course, we all know what the real reasons are. But yeah, that was yeah okay. That I think that so far, and again, you guys want to vote on this, but each out of these, that was the dumbest one, hands down, in my personal opinion. Okay, let's move down to page two because I'm sure it gets better. Okay, oh, we're going Texas here. We told y'all equal parenting was all about child support. Didn't they reference it? One, two, three, four times. Four times. But we're all about the child support? Okay. Of all the equal parenting laws filed this session or any previous session, this one is the most honest. It goes straight to the heart of the matter, child support. Let's see here. Let's go to the bill here. There's all of the, I mean, again, if we're looking at number of words, so it goes all the way down talking about presumptive this and equal shared parenting and agreeing and sets out the plan and everything else. And well, we're still going through the possession. Okay, here we go. And okay, so we're down to section 8. an order for child support rendered for a child who is subject to the equal parenting order is presumed to be reasonable in the best interest of the child. In order for child support conforms to section 154.1265. Okay, so and I've read this a number of times. It's essentially the shared income model where it's 50-50. Both parents put in what they would pay. Say it's one child 20%, and then they would take those numbers. Well, based on the numbers that they've provided, dad makes his child support number would be $1,000 and mom's would be 500. Then dad would pay mom $500 a month. It's seems pretty straightforward. And then to Jason's question, no, that is David Cook's. He has actually. I'll pull that up here in a bit. But yeah, the letter is in reference exclusively to David Cook's bill, not Mays Middleton's. So yeah, but we'll jump into that one. All right, and then let's see here. All right, so y'all, we got that. Okay. The bill would create incentives for parents to put real distance between themselves to avoid the law under HB 3379, and it may incentivize judges to avoid naming parents joint managing conservators. Current custodial parents will pursue sole custody more often. I guess someone's like caps lock got stuck on that one. Um, Again, I don't know about. I mean, the bill would create incentives for payments to put real distance between themselves. So they would then try to avoid the 20. I mean, so is it? I don't know. I'm trying to figure. So they're getting divorced, or they hooked up one night, or whatever that situation is, and then it's going to basically put stuff on the judge to name parents joint managing conservators because they've created a child together, and the child benefits from both, equally, and this is going to make parents leave. That I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. Of course, most of this doesn't. So the bill would create incentives for parents to put real distance between themselves. Okay, again, I just don't get that one. Maybe someone smarter than me could throw some comments in there. All right, last one here. The result will be busier court dockets, greater litigation costs to citizens, and very possibly fewer joint managing conservatorships. The opportunity to pay less child support will be a strong incentive to litigate. Okay, so let's take a look here. All right, let's go right to Section 10. This enactment of this act does not constitute a material and substantial change of circumstances sufficient to warrant modification of a court order or petition of a decree that provides for the possession of or access to a child rendered before the effective date. So all these changes occur to ones that are currently pending and ones that will come afterwards. So yeah, I don't know. Strong as in litigate. So they already, I mean, to take this, the opportunity to pay less child support will be a strong incentive. Isn't that what they use now to get the 95% now? I mean, it just seems like a lot of nonsense here. Let's see here. Let's look at some comments. Jason, this is non-sequitur. Sole custody does not necessarily follow from shared placement. This person needs a basic logic class. That's the president, head of the Family Law Foundation, or part of that group. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't get how that works. And we, again, in Kentucky and the other places that have been doing some of this, it's actually, and we actually now have a little bit more information on that that actually doesn't. So kind of weird there. Let's see, Hunter. Let's see. They are saying women will try to move farther than 20 miles away from non-custodial to avoid getting joint. Um, I mean, I saw that they will say, hey, I want to get, I'm going to move further away from you, but the child is in X school district, which is where that's going to be. So the parents will have to live within that 20-mile radius in order to take advantage of that. If one parent says, okay, blah, blah, whatever, and they say, I'm going to move to Nebraska, let's say, well, there was a school district there, and the 20-mile thing would work there as well. So, yeah, I don't see, I mean, they would, basically the judge would say, look, the 20-mile radius, you both currently live in this area. Johnny's school district is, ABC district. And do you live here? Do you live here? Yes, within 20 miles. Great. Boom, done. If she says she wants to move away, well, then all right, have fun, knock yourself out. You're moving away. Since he's staying, he'll get primary custody and 1 call a day. It's just yeah, that's just kind of insane. All right, Joe, you can't make this demolition out they come up with. Yeah, this is this is what they're doing with this. And how they're getting out there, and they're actually, yeah, this last little shot here. Let the new law work, which I'm like, okay. I mean, it's just odd that they would do that. So that is their current tactic at this point, and I think let me make sure I've got stuff all over the place here. Let's see, was it this one? Oh no, that's one of the things I want to jump into. Yeah, I don't think I have. Yeah, actually, if you go to Dad Equal Custody, the Facebook page, actually, I referenced that earlier. Here we go, Dad Equal Custody, and click that QR link, or it's also in the notes in the thing there. You can go ahead and go there and read it, and it actually it's unredacted, so you can review the information that I pulled out just for my purposes, and do what you need to do with it. All right. I'm kind of wanting to get thoughts. I mean, this is when I talk. I talk about it, and I get kind of cheeky on the whole thing. But when I talk about the Family Law Foundation is trying to they want to stop equal shared parenting every chance to get, because again it's actually in their it's in the message. This is their primary focus, and they get paid lots of money, and the president gets paid lots of money to do this. We've already got plenty of see donations going to various members in the committee, all the things that we would come to know and expect from the Family Law Foundation. But this is what we're up against, and this is why it's going to be so important for people to get this information out and get people calling the representatives to co-sponsor the bill, to get behind this, because our leaders, some of them aren't the brightest tax in the or tools in the toolbox, and they will be swayed by this along with a nice hefty donation. But if we get a number of people from the district calling in saying, hey, you need to pass this. You need to co-sponsor it. I believe this bill has 16 or 17 co-sponsors. So good start. Need a lot more heat behind it, so that when it hopefully when it goes and gets reviewed, it can sail on through. All right. I wanted to also address a couple elephants in the room here. And this is me putting my tinfoil hat on, and some of my, well, if you guys know me at all, you know that's kind of how I think. Here's something that's weird, and this, I learned it last session, and I'm kind of carrying the thoughts over here, and it just okay. Elephant in the room is just instead of me yammering around about it. So, David Cook, he is the author, and my understanding is that he just kind of wrote this on his own. Could be totally wrong. He may have got with various advocates and did this, and did it in mind with that. But here's what's kind of weird. David Cook is a lifetime member of the Family Law Foundation. If you go to his LinkedIn, he is a lifetime member. The same foundation that issued this letter. And I want to throw it out there, and I'm hoping someone out there that's a hell of a lot smarter than me can tell me, and I got some other things here, but can tell me like what's up with that. So you've got a member of the Family Law Foundation. He's again lifetime member, and he proposes a bill, but then his own foundation, his own brothers and sisters, are coming out. I mean, please do not support HB 3379 by Representative David Cook. It doesn't make sense to me. I think you guys are, something isn't passing the sniff test in this. Why has already been assigned to committee so soon? If it's already I believe it's already in the up for committee review. That's actually kind of like proved my little screenshot that I have wrong, that I usually put out there quite often, where they basically let it languish out there before it gets to committee to be read or to be heard until the very end, and then it magically stops. That kind of I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me that you have again a lifetime member, a paying member of the Family Law Foundation making a bill that goes counter to the Family Law Foundation, this document, and everything else. I don't understand it. It just it doesn't make any sense. See, Jason, I was surprised when I heard that he sponsored the bill. It seriously made me think I might be a joke, or it might be a joke rather. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's just so many different directions to go in. You get out your. Is this a thing to make sure it doesn't go through because he's in control of it and he's part of it and he's like a whatever, or he's honestly wanting to do something? It's hard. It's definitely hard to read him. It's hard to figure out what the heck is going on in his mind. Where his true intentions. Unfortunately, this it's already out there, so time will tell how this pans out. But it's just weird that he is sponsoring, or he's drafted and sponsoring a bill that is direct competition. I mean, with his the Family Law Foundation, who's already sending out notices to everybody to say, "Don't do this." I'm kind of waiting to see what happens. It should be interesting. Um, the next thing is, kind of another minor point is, the Family Law Foundation, in here, they're arguing that, the senior possession order, they've been arguing for years. I mean, you can hear Steve Bresnan in when he was talking against a bill from I think like 4 years ago. He was saying senior possession order gives you more than 50%. It's like, why are they fighting? They'll say it's more than 50%, but then we all know it's not. And then the expanded standard is now more than 50%. It's like pick which lie you're going with, and at least be consistent. Quit bouncing around. It's just kind of weird there. I don't know if other people had any kind of thoughts on that one. Let's see. Yeah, well, David, I mean, maybe right here. I think it's so he can say he tried. And that's, yeah, going back to that screenshot that I have out there all the time. That's it. Yeah, I just don't know what the final what the behind the scenes game plan is. I have no idea. Let's see here, Jason. Same with the president supporting Robert's bill seems weird. I think that was a more of a just trying to get in good to show nice guy. It's a great bill. If you haven't seen, I think I still maybe have the graphic to the. I don't. I always clean my stuff out just so it stays kind of neat there. I thought I had Robert. If you go out to the YouTube channel or Facebook, you'll see the information on Robert's bill and with Steve Bresnan supporting the bill as well. So we that hopefully will. Yeah, I mean it's weird that Steve would definitely do that. I would just say definitely for this is a time to get out there. Let's see here, I'm popping up the who represents me. Find out who your representatives are. Go out there, send them an email, a phone call if there's questions or what do I do? How do I do it? I guess put those in the comments and we can draft something up. But I mean, it's basically HB 3379. Please support it. Go to this site here, find who your representatives are, and send them that note. That is, that's what we can do at this point in order to make that happen. Let's see here. Yeah, the third point I had, a number of the schedule. They're talking about a number of schedules they can't agree on. I mean, the bill talks specifically with a few different options. It gives the judge complete control over how to pick that. But there was almost suggestions on how to do that, but he lined it out so there's no confusion. It's essentially a 2-2-3 wrap plan, which or a week on week off, which either one of those are good. So with the school being the pickup drop off location, which removes contact, but then the child has time with both parents equally, and it's all good. So I don't get that. Yeah, I mentioned that how they just talk about money, but they're the ones that they talk about money 4 times just in that email memo there. Whereas, I mean, there's just an obvious thing for the child support to even that up. And then future cases, again, other states that have done it. And actually, there's a bill. Actually, I'm going to talk about HB. I think it's 14 in Ohio is making some good strides there. I'm going to provide some information on that, so you can go out there and watch that. We're talking about the reduction in conflict and issues as a result of the equal shared parenting bill that passed in Kentucky a few years ago. So I mean, the proof's in the pudding. So I mean, it's something definitely that it definitely needed. Let's see here. Oh, let's see. Let's see, Jason. Even though if they're planning to kill the bills at the end, this is really the time to try to push it though and get enough steam so the bill goes through. Stranger things have happened. Yeah, I have a video, and we'll see what everyone thinks. But it actually is of the Ohio bill, and the sponsor of that bill from about a week ago talking about there was actually the sponsor and the co-sponsor talking about what they're doing with the bill and the opposition to that. And I'm going to say right now, and God, I wish more people would look at other areas, but the Ohio guys are nailing it. I mean, I watched the hearing that was yesterday with Elizabeth McNeese and a whole host of other people as proponents of the bill, talking about and then how they've addressed the challenges, who the challengers are, and they basically have this thing. I mean, on paper, visually, it's buttoned up. It looks really good. They've got a really strong case, a lot of good momentum, and they put some key things in place to make that happen. And I'll put that information out there so people can look at it at their leisure. But I don't know. Again, kind of summing up the whole David Cook, how that is going to work. I don't know. It's one of those we'll kind of wait and see. Yeah, and this is right here. This is SB 1702. This is the Senate bill, and it's by Middleton. It actually doesn't reference, best of my knowledge, it's a 50-50 bill, but I don't believe there's anything referencing child support in there. I've looked at it a few times, but again, with all the bills, yeah, there's no really reference to child support or anything like that in there. I guess they're going to try to go after that bill next, or I don't know. But right now, Family Law Foundation, of which Dave is a member of, they are going after him. Just kind of weird there because again, what's at stake is the whole their practice. I guess kind of weird. I also let's see here. I talked about that. Oh yeah. And you can go again. It's Dave Cook. I would say contact him and thank him for the bill. Tell him you got the support, and see, just give him a vote of encouragement. You probably won't hear that too often out of my mouth, but for right now, especially for the bill here, it's one of those do what you can. Wanted to quickly, before we transition over to the Ohio stuff, talk about kind of where things are at with bills, the retroactive child support bills. Got 5 bills. One in the Senate, 4 in the House, and as you'll see, they are all advancing nicely. I believe, actually, I got an email today that one's going to be, I think, up for reading here pretty soon. But just to keep everybody on the same page with the retroactive child support bills, I'm sorry, and where they're going. It's one of those, each one's worse than the next. I would be concerned about all of them. But that's kind of where they're at. And I think I included a link to the I think I did. No, I didn't. Thought I did. With a link to those bills. You can go to Legiscan, type in retroactive child support, and pull that information up, and it'll tell you, what you need to know there. Okay, let's get on to the yeah, let's get on to the Ohio bill. Ohio,
Typically,
let me stop that. So HB 14, which is in Ohio right now, and they've tried to put this bill through a few times. And before, well, actually, he'll talk here about how it got watered down and everything else. But I want everybody to kind of listen in to hear, how he's addressing everybody. And there was actually a young lady that speaks afterwards, which I liked what she said almost more than I liked what the gentleman here said. It was Rodney Creech, but this is one that we definitely need to support Ohioan. I don't know. Someone from Ohio tell me how to say that right. Ohioan brothers and sisters in getting this passed. And then I'm going to also include the link for the hearing that they had yesterday. It says 50, yeah, yesterday, and they had people speaking on the proponents of it, and then also give some names that I want to get to, Brooks McKenzie and others. But I would invite everyone to watch that. It's about, I think, an hour long, and it is, I would say, phenomenal. I mean, they did a great job. Definitely props to them. But let's have you all listen to this section here real quick.
We start out with a great bill that really has meaning. And by the time all the lobbyists get a hold of it, it's so watered down. And that's one of the things. When are we going to start working for Ohio families? We got to work for Ohio families. Our lobbyists, we don't work for them. And sometimes they make a lot of decisions up here. I think what I would encourage you to do is go back to your districts and talk to the families that have been affected by this. And you're going to find a lot of them. I think probably everybody up here either has family members or friends that's been affected by this. Let's listen to the people. Let's fight for Ohioans, and let's stop letting lobbyists drive the ship up here. It's getting old.
Exactly.
And I can tell you that this is a great bill. Let's look at other states that have clear and convincing evidence. There's a lot of accountability. If you look at our bill, there's a lot of accountability in this. We want to hold parents accountable. We want to hold the courts accountable. If the courts are going to rip kids from a family, we need some documentation and follow-up on that. We need to make sure that it's just not a personal opinion. Because I can tell you that, we were on a Zoom call last year, and it was about 12 of us, and there was a judge that was on this Zoom call. He literally said, "Dads just don't make good parents." That was a judge that said that. And I can tell you I questioned him.
What?
Questioned him on that. That's why we need this bill. We got to take the personal opinion out of it, and if it should not be easy to remove kids from fit parents. But we will be open-minded.
Can I, Chair, can I please add to that? I wasn't on, I was not a joint sponsor last time around. I actually called Rodney and begged him to let me on this bill, and he let me on. I was a co-sponsor, though, and I just want to remind everybody, there were 59 co-sponsors on this bill when it dropped, when it was introduced. So maybe we should go back and question, why didn't it get across the finish line when 59 members of the Ohio House, Democrats, Republicans alike, supported this bill, yet we couldn't get it out of committee?
Yeah, I mean, does that sound a little familiar? I mean, the Ohioans, they have, and I got to hear the correct pronunciation there. They nailed it. I mean, was it Rodney Creech? His statement was on point, and I did not copy down the other person's name, so it escapes me. But she nailed it too. 59 co-sponsors. That is crazy. Out of Ohio. I mean, Texas should be like all of them. I mean, but they got 59 of those, and I'm going to put up on the screen here QR code to the proponent, the reading or the offering evidence I lost my train of thought there. Offering the benefits of that, and Elizabeth McNeese. Actually, I have a picture of her there. I just went and grabbed a screen grab of that, but the link is in the QR code and should be in the comments. It is like an hour long. I'm gonna, full disclosure there, but it gets you right there, and you get to hear. Elizabeth, she like knocked it out of the park. I mean, it was like, bam, just crazy. That just a great job. And then we got to hear from not one but two PhD folks. Elizabeth, I'm sorry, it was Elizabeth McNeese. I was writing names down. Sarah Sullivan, she's a PhD, and she did her studies was on the child father role in development. So Brooks McKenzie, hopefully you're listening, and if you're not, if someone out there can shoot that over to him, the link, so he's got that. Be something I would partner up with, or read her research. But she gave a one hell of a testimony, and she got people firing on her from that were sitting there in the committee asking various questions, and some of them were kind of dumb, but here nor there. But she did a great job, I think, in explaining why 50-50 is best, and why having the father in the picture makes perfect sense. So I mean, we've got a growing body of evidence, or people that are supportive. I'd almost play this if it ever gets down in Austin at the time, because I mean, she said it her entire piece very well. The other person was Don Hubin, and it turns out he's a member of NPO, but he's also a PhD person, and also gave another good information. Then we heard, I believe, from 3 or 4 different parents, and they had very good stories. And I'll, again, full disclosure, hour long. I had to skip through parts of it. But what I did hear from each person, it was very well thought out, succinct, and they were able to give some very powerful testimony. And that's, I mean, when it comes time to go down there, that is the thing that we need to do. And I wanted to actually give a shout out to NPO. Do I have their? Oh boy, too many things, not enough time. All right, go to NPO. They, a lot of good information. Actually, the Dr. Human, he actually referred to various NPO documents, and he was questioned about the Kentucky information on the reduction in domestic violence, and he was able to provide in the affirmative that it's gone down, and so there's that information. Again, NPO, I don't have their graphic or their link there, but again, NPO, go out, National Parenting Organization, you should go out there and support them when if you get a chance or you feel led to do that. Jason. Great speeches. They were. I would say that was. It was great. It was great speech. Let's see here, Joe. Wow, too bad we didn't hear stuff like that from our legislature. I mean, and that's where I want people to go and listen to what they've done in Ohio, kind of the roadmap on how it's set up, because that's something, from what I'm seeing, we should copy. The questions are going to get asked, the research, the data, the testimony, and how it was done, and I would say mimic it. I mean, it's going to set up for the best opportunity to get passed. Now, what's different and interesting also is in Ohio, it's in the papers, in the large newspapers that are out there, talking about equal shared parenting, getting that and getting it passed. Whereas, as we know here in Texas, we don't get squat, or if we do, it's kind of the negative part of it. And I'm sure there'll be a campaign that kicks in there. So if we can get anyone that's in the media to put that out there, I would definitely encourage anyone to reach them and start getting that out there. But again, listen to Ohio. So I'll put that QR code up one more time just in case you've lost it here. We got way too many. There it is. Way too many links there, but definitely go out there and watch that. Good stuff. Good to take notes on and use that. If when you decide to go ahead and go out there and do that. Let's see here. I got a few other things. There's a couple house cleaning items here. So is that tomorrow? Next week, David O'Connor needs court watchers. So if you are able to get, and I forgot his neck of the woods, but if you're able to get into his area to court watch, please do so. David O'Connor has done a lot of stuff for the equal shared parenting movement. This is a way for us all to give back. I also wanted to, let me throw this up here. I've mentioned here for, I think, the past week, the link here for the Texas for Judicial Accountability. Well, today an article came out featuring Jennifer Lundy with the Fort Worth Weekly. So that's the link to the website, Texas for Judicial Accountability. You can go there, check it out. Not a whole lot. I mean, admittedly, there's not a lot of information yet until the website gets revamped and we get more information put on there and direction. But definitely can use your donations and all that to get things rolling. And let me pop up here. This is the article, the QR link there, going to be in the notes, that talks to the. Let's see if I have it up here. We can look at it. Yeah, let me. There we go. Here's the article in the Fort Worth Weekly. That's where that link goes to, and basically straight to the point, holding judges accountable. And there's some good information in there. I'll leave a little bit of mystery and mystique on that one. But I would encourage everyone to read through that because there's a lot of good information there on what Jennifer's doing, who is supporting her. You would probably be a little surprised to find out some of the people that are actually on her side that you probably wouldn't think would be. But that's an article I would recommend people go out there and see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else here. Yeah, I think that's kind of everything on that. Of course, again, I like to at least know that I'm doing something right. It takes me a couple hours to put these things together. Of course, the hour or so to be on here with y'all, which, I appreciate everybody coming. I know some people watch it later when they're driving wherever. Or doing whatever, they can't catch it live. But I also like to kind of, see that it's actually desired and I shouldn't be playing video games. So if you feel that, go to that site, give it a like, subscribe. You'll be, informed of when new information comes out, and when new videos, new data, stuff like that comes out. So that's kind of everything I have. Let me keep the chat line open real quick. So if anyone has any questions or anything they want to bring up, parting thoughts, new ideas, old ideas, anything like that, I'll kind of keep it open for a few seconds and make sure I didn't forget anything. I believe I got all that. Oh, and go to again, go to the Ohio like NPO and Facebook page if you know Elizabeth McNeese and her husband. Give them a big shout out. Kind of get the names from there. I should have probably pulled that in here. They're on Facebook. And give them a great job. Let them know that their Texan brothers and sisters are rooting for them. They definitely root for us when we're doing things, and a lot of work across the lines and behind the scenes and all that stuff. And of course, definitely check out NPO. Let's see. I think that's it. I'm not saying any more comments. So I tell you what, I'm going to make this I was going to say short and sweet. It's about an hour. I hope everybody's having a good day. If there's anything that you guys want to know about as far as in the way of bills that are coming down the pipe across the country, I tried to do one on Indiana like a week ago, but it looks like there wasn't a lot of interest in it. Kind of weird. But if there's anything you guys want to know about, reach out to me through Facebook or YouTube in the comments section. More than happy to once I get something to work with, I can kind of go, oh yeah, because there's a lot of stuff to report on. Again, as we know, as getting back to Texas, the retroactive child support bills are moving forward. There's still actually a number of bills I need to report on that are moving through that should be of concern for a lot of people. We'll see how that goes. But all right, with that, I will bid everyone a good evening. Hope everybody's doing good, and we'll see you on next time.